meeting, Tuesday, May 26th, at the Town Center, a regular board meeting. It's called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Here.
Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Trustee Payne.
Here.
Trustee Griffin. Trustee Rudez.
Present.
Trustee Oscar Brown. And Mayor Covington.
President. Where's that lady? Around the other corner.
Behind you.
Approval of minutes for
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to table the minutes.
second. Okay. All in favor? Do you have to do a roll call again?
Trustee Larry Brown.
Votes aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Both sides.
Trustee Payne.
Aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Abstain, absent.
And Mayor Covington.
Both sides. So what are we doing for?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Action items, unfinished business, none. New business, first, second, and third reading of ordinance approving the preliminary site review application, subdivision plat review application, and request for variance application for 2101 Drowley Road, University Park, Will County, Illinois, Northern Builders. This item will be, okay, no, that part. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved on. Trustee Rudez, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Larry Brown. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Votes aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Payne.
Aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Votes aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Votes aye.
Mayor Covington, that's ordinance 2015-20.
And for the public's knowledge, Ms. Would you like to speak on it, Ms. New trustee Palmer? Well, that's an ordinance that's talking about our land that we've been talking. We had a combination meeting with the planning commission. And this is for our new progress for the University Park, let you know. B, first, second, and third reading an ordinance repealing and replacing all provisions of ordinance number 0201-508 of the Village of University Park in Will County, Illinois, establishing a municipal gas use tax and amending the code of ordinance for the Village of University Park. So move their motion.
Second.
Trustee Milton Payne, second by trustee Larry Brown. Questions, concerns, comments?
Now, there's only one question. I just want, like you guys to explain it to the viewing audience, because a lot of people think that it's gonna be taxing them at the gas pump, and just explain it to them, so we won't have confusion, because I'm willing to support it.
Not a problem. This is a company that we have hired.
That's an order, right?
Yes, of the auditors. These auditors, what they do is they do audits on our utilities. You know, you look at your bills and you'll say municipal taxes on all your bills, your light and gas. So what they do is they came and audit on our light bills and found out that those checks, do we actually get them? So they make sure that we get them, and we found out when they did the audit on our gas that since 1997, I think it was, we have been collecting 267,000, something around that figure, so we weren't actually collecting it. So now the audit's been exposed, and now we will be collecting that from this day forward.
Yeah, and that was for people that went through both.
Yes.
Ballpark figure on estimated revenue?
267,000.
And this is the heat your home gas,
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
not the gas that you put in your car.
Car, no.
Right.
The gas bills in your house where you see your bill, it says municipal
That's
taxes.
the pump. That's all
Okay?
they want to know. We already get
Yes.
taxed at the pump.
Right. So I hope that made anybody, anyone have any questions on that? Okay. Clarification? Okay.
Will we get back pay on that?
That's
Will this
right.
village get back pay on that $267,000?
We cannot, no, okay.
So somebody got the money
We
and
won't
ran?
get that. That's been something we should have done years ago. I said again, 1997, no one did it, no one questioned it, no one inquired about it. I met them at a conference and they told us, they made a presentation at Reggie Greenwood's Economic Development Conference, and I got his card and he came and worked for us and saw and did an audit for us. So, board agreed, we got it, and it's done. So from this day forward, we will be collecting the correct amount of money. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Votes aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Rudis.
Votes aye.
Trustee. And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance O 2015-24.
Thank you. Action items, new business, first, second, and third reading, ordinance amending the standing rules of the Board of Trustees and codified ordinance of the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, to eliminate the legislative and operating committee and to reestablish responsibilities of the preparation of the meeting agendas. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Larry Brown, second. Second by trustee Wilson. Questions, concerns?
I have a question. I just wondered if there's a repetition on page 2, where the subparagraph I, it says the president shall set the agenda for each regular meeting and each special meeting, and the clerk shall prepare, so forth. And then when we look down at subparagraph 1, under section 3, it says that, subject to standing rule 9, section 210-01, subparagraph I of the codified ordinance, prepare the agenda for regular and special meetings of the board. So I was a little confused as how those two kind of went together when they're both, they seem to be covering the same thing. That the president will set the agenda for each regular meeting and each special meeting, and then in the same thing that it says in L.
I guess are we reverting back to special rule? I got it here.
I mean, I support the effort, but I'm just, the language was a little confusing to me. I don't get prepared. Huh? So this subparagraph 1 is a subsection of section 3, right? Okay. Yeah. So it's being deleted, this is being replaced with this. Exists.
Right. And I think the number just got cut off because it's too Right. Right. In 2 sections.
Sorry, I took a look at it here. It looks like under section 2, the subsection 9, so that's your standing rule number 9. And that essentially provides that the president is going to set the agenda and then the village clerk will prepare it for special and regular meetings. Under section 3, subsection L, that relates more to the village clerk's, right, to her duties and responsibilities. So it's referencing standing rule 9, and reiterate basically that she prepares the agenda for the regular and special board meetings.
So is it essentially what you're saying, the president or the mayor shall set the agenda, and then the clerk will prepare the agenda? Is that what it's
Which I have no.
Okay.
So we're gonna revert back to item, this is what I have in that, is the president shall set the agenda for each regular, special, and emergency meeting of the board, but that agenda shall contain items requested by the entities calling the meeting. The president shall make the agenda known to the trustees, the public, and the press as far in advance of such meeting as may be practical, preferably 4 days in advance of such meeting. A tentative agenda shall be made available a week in advance of each regular meeting. The agenda may be modified for regular board meetings, and matters not previously contained on the agenda of regular meetings may be discussed but not acted upon. Such changes in the agenda shall require a vote of the trustees present and voting. So we're not reverting, so
I understand.
this is Rule 9, so we're not reverting back to that.
No.
This is the change. This is, okay,
Right.
I'm good.
Play this back.
Okay, okay, I'm good.
What is the change, please?
All right, you done? Thank you. Roll, any other questions?
So it's not working.
We're just
Yes,
adding.
ma'am.
Right, it's just adding,
Right.
not replacing.
Okay.
It's being inserted.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There are no Any other?
Can the public please understand what you're talking about?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Mary Brown,
Votes aye.
trustee Wilson,
Both sides.
trustee Payne,
Aye.
trustee Rudez,
Votes no.
Mayor Cutler.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance O 2015-22.
Doesn't matter at all. This ordinance will be carried to, that the mayor will prepare like before the agenda, special and all regular. Thank you. Resolution in memory of Mr. Michael Goldman. I'm sorry. For those of you that have not heard, Mr. Goldman was at one time our fire department, fire chief, and our police manager, and such time he retired, and he was a consultant, I think, for our fire department as well, and he has passed along. And at this point, we would like to do a resolution, and it will be mailed for the services. Do you have a copy of it? Do you have a copy of it, or are you just gonna mail it?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, everybody pass it down.
Okay, would someone like to read it, or trustee? The fire department,
Isn't it the protocol the new trustee gets it ready to read?
Madam Mayor, could we put it on the floor first?
Sure. Is it, so moved? Is there, I'm sorry, motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee and Larry Brown.
I'll second.
Second. Wilson?
I'm second, I don't know about the motion, I'm gonna second.
No, she did it, she did. Okay, you can second, you can get it there. Ms. Wilson did it. So, all in favor, a roll call.
I should read.
Can you read it? Read it first?
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence, as far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Resolution of condolence honoring the memory and contributions of former fire chief and village manager Michael Gruberman, 1967 through 2000. Whereas Michael Gruberman moved to University Park, then unincorporated Wood Hill, prior to the incorporation of the village of Park Forest South, wherein in 1967 he immediately began to carve out his indelible mark in this community by beginning his career as a volunteer firefighter with the Wood Hill Volunteer Fire Department. And in 1975, he became the second full-time fire chief of Park Forest South Fire Department. And whereas Chief Gruberman was truly a trailblazer, who under his leadership, the fire department went through 2 name changes and 2 new fire stations were erected. And he was responsible for bringing ALS EMS service to the village of University Park, along with full-time firefighters, paramedics. And whereas Chief Gruberman was passionate about fire and fire science, that led him to obtain a bachelor's degree in fire service management, and he also obtained numerous certifications through the Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal, which included Fire Officer 3 and Hazardous Material Technician. And whereas on January 1st, 1990, Chief Gruberman was appointed village manager, thereby holding the dual positions as fire chief and village manager until October 2000. And whereas neither time nor space will allow us to chronicle all of the contributions that fire chief / village manager Michael Gruberman made to this community and region, we know that Chief Manager Michael Gruberman touched and influenced the lives of many people, especially those interested in serving in the firefighting profession, where he mentored many. And whereas we know that your hearts are heavy, we know your pains, tears, and hurts are real, and while no words of ours can ease your pain, we hope you will find comfort in knowing that we share your loss. We grieve with you, and we thank him for sharing his talents and love of this community with us. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor, clerk, board of trustees, staff, and citizens of the village of University Park that our sincere and heartfelt condolences are extended to his wife, Connie, and her entire family for their great loss. And be it further resolved that the mayor, clerk, and board of trustees of the village of University Park deem it both befitting and appropriate to recognize the memory of former fire chief, village manager Michael Gruberman for countless years of service by officially adopting this resolution and placing it on file with official records of the village of University Park. And once duly passed, signed, and sealed, a copy is given to his wife, Connie Gruberman, as a token of our appreciation for his life and service to the village. Approved this 26th day of May 2015. Oh, no. That's it.
Okay. We'll change it to the village. Okay. Thank you. We all will be saddened and we will miss him tremendously. And we will send something down for the services. Roll call, please.
Trustee Mary Brown.
Votes aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Votes aye.
Trustee Payne.
Aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Votes aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution R 2015-13.
Thank you. And just for the residents, I'd like for a company to come up at this time, that in presentation, Northern Corporation, just to introduce yourself to the public.
May I take just one more, in addition to Michael Gruberman, so know that Connie Gruberman served as a trustee
Sure did. His
for,
wife.
I think it was like 1 term, or a term and a half, something like that, right? Yeah, so they both had extensive service for the village,
Yes.
to the village.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Matthew Majors. I'm Senior Vice President of Northern Builders. Would you like me just to share a little bit who we are and why we're here?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure this is on. How's that?
There you go.
Okay, great. My name is Matthew Krusecki. I'm Senior Vice President of Northern Builders. We are here a little bit about Northern. We are a family-owned and operated development and construction company. We've been doing this since 1927. So not only are we developers, but we are a construction company. We own, lease, and manage a portfolio of industrial buildings. It can range anywhere from 1.5 million up to 6 million square feet of light industrial buildings. The reason why we're here is because we've chosen University Park for a business home for one of our newest clients that we're very excited about. That client is Klockner Metals. What we are planning to build is a 105,000 square foot steel service center. It's a very clean facility. The way it operates is that coils of steel will be brought in either on truck or on rail and put into production. And basically what they do is they unroll these coils. It's a slitting operation, and then they cut these pieces to length, and out it goes as a final product to be used in a variety of products on the steel industry. So with this, we're also excited with the prospect that this 105,000 square foot building is expandable, so it can actually be double in size. With that comes more production lines, more jobs, and future growth. And I think, and that's Klockner Metals. So we're very excited about that. What we're also excited about is the fact that with our first move into University Park to be part of your community, we've also optioned the balance of the land that we are acquiring from the same seller. That additional land, which I believe is about 28 acres, would allow us to build up to 2 more buildings on this property, which would be tremendous. My experience in the industrial real estate community is that when someone hears that there is a build-to-suit happening in University Park with a high credit international German steel company, people get very excited. They want to be here, they want to be their neighbors. There may be other synergies, companies that may already work with Klockner Metals who may want to be their neighbor or service their business in some way. So that's why we're here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. There was also, you had a meeting several times with our planning commission.
Yes, we
And
did.
this has been going on for a time.
Yes.
Could you tell the residents what you're offering them as far as employment, how we will be protecting them in that sense in your growth and how they work?
Sure. A couple of thoughts on that. Day one, when Klockner Metals moves into town, they're coming from a location off of Torrance in the city of Chicago. While we expect the majority of their employees to make that move with them, undoubtedly there will be other employees that choose it. It's simply too far for them. So there may be new job opportunities for those. One of the things that we discussed very early on was that for all new job openings, Klockner Metals has the responsibility of hosting these new job positions with University Park. And the way that it's being viewed is this, and this is actually written into the development agreement that was approved. In the case where a job is being offered and there are multiple applicants, if all of those applicants are equally qualified, the University Park resident will be given preference to that job position.
And also your training,
Yes, that is correct.
that you will be providing training. And there's also an organization with Southburg Mayor Managers, I'm sure you're familiar with Reggie Greenwood.
Yes.
They just came upon $300,000 in training dollars, and they're talking about with the Prairie State College, they're setting up the training in the event that some people, I know they always say, well, we are not qualified, we don't have the training. They're prepared and ready to train our people in University Park over there with the grant so that they will be qualified for the positions. And I would ask to make sure that you make sure that they are in that program for the positions that you're looking for. But I noticed also on the video you had some positions as for project managers and other clerical or administrative positions as well, correct?
Sure. There are all types of positions. Many are skilled, some are non-skilled positions. In addition to that, there will be construction opportunities as well as we build this building. One of the things we benefited from in our meetings with the Planning Commission was that I believe it was Mark Thompson offered to provide us with a list of local contractors that we can talk to and solicit proposals from for the construction of this facility as well.
And that's why I asked everyone in University Park that has a license or some type of skills, please register with the Village Hall and let them know that you have these skills and you have your license and you're part of the union or whatever. Make sure you're eligible for those positions. But again, I would like you to get with that program and see how many candidates that need to go over into Prairie State to get that training, so they be eligible for the jobs.
Great.
Okay?
Wonderful.
All right.
Well, thank you again.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right. Here we have bills payable. Attached to your approval is a listing of the general operating expenses for the Village of University Park. The following is a grand total of the everyday expenses from May 13th to May 26, 2015. General operating funds, $344,005.03. Road and bridge, $5,818.67. Town center, $4,456.59. Golf course, $30,793.75. Capital project funds, $40,974.88. After payroll, $7,886.07. Tip 5, $398.78. Totaling $434,333.77. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Page,
Second.
moved by trustee Larry Brown. Questions, concerns, comments?
Yeah, just a couple.
Yes, sir?
And maybe this is our fee for the new village manager. Check number 84716, the Illinois Department of Transportation. Reimbursement agreement, $25,433.
No, that is not.
No? Oh, okay.
That's a little background.
Yeah, check number 84719, legal services after payroll, what's that, 822?
Some employees pay for prepaid legal withholding, and we're paying for the service, the withholding from payroll, from their payroll checks.
The other, last one I have is 84732, the PNC Equipment Finance. It's got $35,101 here for the street sweeper rental. Is that for a number of different things, or is that just for the rental? Because I remember that number to be quite different when we approved that contract.
Well, what number, I have to look at the contract, but this is a rental fee, the monthly rental fee.
Can it be
On the
35,000?
On the invoice, so I need to look at the bill on that, on the contract,
Okay.
to see if that's for, what time period.
Okay. Or is it other things? Because I know this description only puts a limited description of what it is, and it could be a number of things that's rolled into once.
It's from, this is a period of 1 year, June 2014 through May 2015. So this is the payment for that time period. The $35,000.
Okay. We don't pay it monthly, it's an annual payment.
No, I'll have to look at the contract because it's indicating it's a lease agreement
Okay.
and it's a yearly payment.
Okay.
I have a question, and it's probably on the same line here. About 6, 7 years ago, we bought a street sweeper. And I'd like to know where it's at.
So far works. And we use it.
I mean, but
It broke down, didn't it, or something?
Yeah, we did have a problem with it. We serviced it and it was pretty expensive, but we got it back up and we've been using it for about a month now.
But, so this is a past debt. This is a past debt. It's $35,000.
Right, this invoice was just invoiced in May, and it's due June 1st, 2015, but it's covering the period back from June of 2014 through May of 2015 as a yearly rental payment. So it's for one year payable in May.
And I, you know what I have to say, I didn't see any street get swept last year. None of our streets were swept. And I know we bought a street sweeper. And so, are we saying that this is the, we won't have to pay this anymore, that our street sweeper is working?
Jerry, can you
Yes,
talk?
the sweeper that we have now is working.
Our sweeper is working?
It's working.
So we won't have to pay this rental fee?
I don't know about that rental fee. When I took the position, that sweeper was there. It had a few problems, but it's up now and it's running. So I can't talk on the rental fee.
So we only have one.
We only have one.
So we had one that we were paying $34,000 a year for that wasn't working, but now it's working. Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
And, you know, Mr. Elton, I'm not, and I understand that you were only placed in charge temporarily. You probably would not know. But I would like to know at what time that our street sweeper stopped working. Because and I'll tell you, this past Thursday or Friday, I did see, it appeared that the streets were swept along Old Forge Road.
Yes. Yes. We do a pattern from Olmsted to work our way north.
Okay.
Main streets and then side streets. We had some issues with the brush and the fan, but fan is what causes the big mountain.
Now, I was just wondering, I was never under, I was under the impression that it was working. I didn't know when it stopped. I mean, we've never, you know, 'cause I know before that we used to rent our sweeper from a company up north, and actually they would come and they would, you know, do our streets every so often, until we, like I said, we decided to purchase this street sweeper. I'd probably say maybe 7, 8 years ago.
So what I'll do is get with Sharon and we'll try to figure this out and give you information.
Now, as long as we got ours up and going, I just didn't know.
Yeah, but 35,000 is 35,000.
Right.
I have a question. How if we purchase one, are we leasing one, and we only have one? If we purchase one and we leased one, we should have two. So if we only have one and we purchased it, what is the 35,000? If it was just invoiced, I'm sorry, Ms. Floyd, it was just invoiced when?
They just invoiced us in May for payment due June 1st. So in this time period, this payment covers a 12-month period. And it's indicating it is under a lease agreement that was probably previously contracted. So I need to look at the contract.
That's the only, that makes sense, that makes no sense.
Remember that thing at first, and then we wanted to just come in twice. We took it out, we decided to take it out wrong. That's how it showed. There's two of them. It was when we first acquired.
Can't hear you.
What I'll do is hold off on the payable.
Yes, we'll pull that out. Okay.
I make the motion to remove that item check, 84732, PNC Equipment Finance LLC, street sweeper rental in the amount of $35,101.
Second. Roll call.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, before I do the roll call, any others? I have one. Ms. Delano, I hope that with your assistance, that this insurance premium, we can look into this for a better price. Health insurance, employee health insurance for $94,000. We can get something at a more reasonable cost. Also, Chief Exner, I will be announcing, he is leaving, he's retiring. And he asked that he give back the $1,000 for the insurance for his uniform. He says he's giving that back. He's not gonna accept that. Also, I'd like you to look into another insurance, is liability insurance, a payment of $132,698.13. That's ludicrous. That's averaging $1.8 million for the risk, and that's why HR, thank goodness, is on board now, to cut that price, because we're making payments of $132,000. And how often is that, Sharon, you know how much often we're paying $132,000? What, 4 or 5 times?
Yes, you are correct.
4 or 5 times we're paying $132,000. When we can get this at, I know, estimated what, Maxine, you think about 500,000?
530 is what we're hoping to negotiate approximate reduction in this cost. We're budgeted at $1,027,000.
Jesus. And so you can cut that in half.
We're going to cut it in half.
With HR now. Okay. Wow. Okay, just to let residents know, this is just, these bills are just, we need better bills. Okay, roll call. This is on the one to pull the 35, I'm sorry, pull the $35,101 for the clean sweeper.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Vote aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Roulette.
Abstain.
Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now motion to approve the bills payable.
So moved. Whoa.
We had a motion.
It's roll call.
This is as amended.
Yes.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Vote aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Both aye.
Trustee Payton.
We'll try to pay the bills.
Trustee Roulette.
Abstain, Madam Clerk.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna move something around legally. We would like to do this, but I'm going to ask if there is any problem, anyone allowing me to move, if I can do that, move the general public up here.
Make a motion.
Can someone please make a motion that we can modify the agenda to have general? Okay. Moved by trustee Wilson, second.
Aye. Second.
Second by trustee Milton Payton. Roll call.
Madam Mayor, this is to do what too?
To modify the agenda to put general public right now after the bills payable, because we will be going into executive session.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Vote aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Both aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Roulette.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Votes aye. And in the next agenda, we will put general public under, after the Pledge of Allegiance in the future. General public, do you have anything? Any cards?
For public comment, in order to give proper consideration to all items on this agenda, the mayor will limit participants in a debate and will close off protracted, repetitive, irrelevant, or abusive remarks. This is a comment forum, and if response is necessary, board members may elect to respond formally at the next regular board meeting. Additionally, comments will be restricted to items on today's agenda. Thanks.
But, and let you know that I did revise that as well. that if you have a comment that's not on this agenda, you're allowed to speak on that freely, any complaints. I don't know if someone actually scratched these out. Ms. Lawson, did you scratch your name out? Okay,
I was the first one that signed.
right, well, this scratched, I'm just, okay, well, come up, please.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, trustees. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say congratulations, Mayor, for your re-election, to Trustee Payton, to our new trustee, Paula Wilson, and to Madam Clerk, D. Jones. And I want to say to the new employees, to Bola, we're glad to have you. To Maxine, we're glad to have you. And I am just so delighted that going forward, we're working together and we're gonna move our village forward. That makes my heart really happy, and I just wanted to share that with you all. And as a resident of this village, however I can help, I most certainly will. For those who did not win in the election, we still need you working in our village. Oftentimes people run for election and then when they don't win, they disappear. But it's gonna take all of us to bring things back to the order that we can enjoy the quiet enjoyment of our village. So congratulations to everyone. I can truly say that I'm glad to be a part of University Park and willing to work with everyone. Thank you.
Victoria, did you scratch your name out too? Or no? You did? Okay.
I'll withhold my comments.
Okay. Someone else, Jackson, did they scratch theirs out? I can't read it scratched out. Ms. Richard? Richard Simmons, Franklin.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Mayor, and all the trustees and the board. I just want to let you know that the University Park Lions has started early registration for the 2015 football and cheerleading season. You can go to the website, which is www.upyaalliance.org to register your children. There are payment plans also that's available online. Also, the University Park Lions are holding weekly training sessions on Sunday at the regular practice field until June 28th. The practices will be held from 5 to 6:30 at Palmer Park. And then right after, summer training camp will begin on June 29th, Monday through Friday, from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Ms. Franklin, what's the cost?
The cost is, it's $250 for one child of the program, which $50 of that is a deposit that will be returned at the end of the season after everyone turns in, after that individual turns in their equipment. And then there's a discount for early registration, and then there's also a discount for families that have multiple children in the program.
Okay, I would like for you to do, get with Ms. Christine Williams and do a PSA on our cable station to be more, have more time to elaborate on it.
Absolutely.
And do we have that, there was a part that we used to support a part of this. Are we still doing that there in your budget to support this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, they have been added into the budget, and their treasure, we have been talking back and forth. So that's something that I emailed Sharon that they need right away.
And also, I gave flyers to the school district, so the school district also distributed flyers to all of the schools in the district, which is when we take children K through 8th grade.
I know you're on the corner always collecting.
Yes, yes,
I
ma'am.
always sponsor them.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
And I will continue to sponsor.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else feel free to sponsor? Yes. Okay, Ms. Laverne Williams.
trustees, staff, and residents. Just forgot what I was going to say. But I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but thank you for, if we could possibly move the residents to speak prior to the voting of items on the agenda. So
I
that
just
would
said
be
I
nice.
did, and
You
you said
did?
I did.
Okay, I apologize, I
That's
didn't hear
okay.
that piece. And then the second request, oh, I forgot, that's okay. Anyway, thank you. Love it.
Not a problem. All right. At this point, are there any reports? Trustee Milton Payne?
Yeah, Sandra Hurd is not here. She's the chairman of the chairperson of the Finance Committee. And we are looking for community members to become a part of the Finance Committee. Even if you don't become a member itself, if you can come by our meetings and just participate, ask questions and so forth. So you can contact Ms. John Townsend and have a form filled out, and because it's really probably the most important committee in the village, because it's your tax money that gets spent, and we want to just make sure that the priorities are set and your input is welcome to help us find out where the problems are, and if you particularly have some expertise in that area, it'd be greatly appreciated. Right now, we're meeting on the third Wednesday of the month from 7 to 8:30 p.m. We will be changing that to accommodate the finance director a little bit better. So we're asking you to come out, and even our new village manager stopped by to pay her respects at the last meeting, which is a welcome change.
Any other? Yes, ma'am.
Madam Mayor, I would like to report on the international conference that I just returned from, which was in Hartford, Connecticut. The conference was fantastic. This year we slid in 5 days of training into 4 days of training and accomplished the same goal, the same number of hours that's used for certification. I was paged. I'm sorry. I thought I turned it on. It wouldn't turn. That sounded like what happened when I was at our opening session at Sunday. When I was paged, because two of our, one convener and one scanner for our conference had taken ill and could not perform those duties. So I'm being paged, wondering what's going on, and it was just to ask me if I would convene one of the sessions and scan and two of the other sessions, which I did. And I was very privileged to convene a session on clerks, how do you survive, and what goes in minutes. It was really, really interesting. And one of the ones I also was a scanner was the adversarial citizen war stories, because I can share with you guys our program. We also dealt on leadership and getting away from how to avoid the podium panic. When people get to the mic, they stand up and their thoughts sit down. But, you know, this international conference is something I've said to the mayor and the board on several occasions. I really wish there was training for all elected officials.
Yes.
Like there is for the municipal clerks.
Absolutely.
We had people there from all 50 states and 10 foreign countries where we do have memberships. Also, I'd like to share with the public that
Deputy Clerk Cecilia Kelly lost her father. And so those of you who can get a prayer through, please pray for Cecilia Kelly and her family. My family experienced a loss this weekend, a tragic loss. So step in one for the Connor and the Jones Anderson family.
Thank you.
And also, before I forget, my condolences to former clerk of Hazel Crest, Florine Robinson, passed away early last week. So remember her in your prayers. And also, my condolences. And Chris, make sure you pass this on to Chuck and he can take it to Carolina when he takes his resolution to Connie Gruberman and the Gruberman family. I had the privilege of working with Mike all of his tenure as village manager and most of his firm chief. So keep them in prayer.
Yeah. Okay. Trustee Wilson.
I'd like to report I went to Recon in Vegas last week. I know I'm new, but I learned a lot. We met with a couple of businesses that are interested in coming to our industrial park, so that was very exciting. We were sitting with the Southland mayors and managers, and they specifically said they want to come to University Park, so that was very interesting. I also want to give my condolences to the Gruberman family, and I'd like to remind Claire D. about she is hosting at our golf course.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm sorry. On June 4th, which is a week from this Thursday, I will be hosting the municipal clerks of the southwest suburbs monthly meeting. At this meeting, we will be swearing in our officers, and I will publicly invite our board and our department heads to please join us. Always good food, good fun, and lots of interesting stuff that we talk about. So I will be sending an email to all of you with the RSVP. Thank you. Thank you, Trustee.
Thank you. As
Mayor,
yes, sir.
you know what? I just want to compliment
I just want to compliment you guys on the smiling, beautiful faces up there that you guys have. I tell you, I haven't seen this in quite some time, so I just want to compliment you on that. Very good. And then also to piggyback on that PNC company, that $35,000 check, and I have said this time and time again that this will stop you guys from looking puzzled if you are given aging reports to actually show these adjusted entries that should be actually posted on the when the services are actually due, that's when these adjusted entries should be posted to the GL. So these dollars has continued to accrue over a number of years. So I believe that aging reports will stop this puzzling, if we can actually get that together. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Franklin, also I would like you to make sure that this gets on our website, your information about football rather. Okay. And that gets on our website, it'll get on our cable station. And also our trustee Brown, Officer Brown's not here right now, keep him in your prayers. He had a car accident and he's a little devastated by it right now, thank God. He's not in hospital, but it was just devastating for him, that accident, so keep him in your prayers. At this time, I'd like to announce that I also was in Vegas, in Trustee Rudez and Trustee Griffin. It was prosperous, but then again, it was a little heartbreaking. It was several municipalities that were there. We all rented a booth to make it economically feasible for us. And it was funny, I saw your bad pictures, the sweat and the rain that she did, and they put the booth together. It was Stager, Richmond Park, Matt's on the other side, Park Forest, Richmond Park, South Holland, Harvey, Cal Park, oh God, it was, I can't remember all those West of them. They were there, and we all shared so the expenditures wouldn't be a real burden on us. And it was a thing that we've been doing for the last 2 years to try to make a concerted effort for saying the Southland. And we're trying to work and show that 670,000 people need economic development. And that's what we've been doing as a whole. However, we do have our meetings, and Trustee Ruda has grabbed us and said, we're getting ours too. So to make sure that Neil pulled us all grab, we did have some positive, but then there was something that was a little bit disturbing. When Cheesecake Factory came to us and told us that I have nothing for any of you in the Southland area. So I said, with that, I make pretty good cheesecake, but you know, sometimes we might have to be very creative ourselves, and maybe, like I told Reggie, he was there as well from South Suburban area, and I said, maybe you need to send a letter. We need to send a letter, send a signature to these people and let them know, you guess what, I don't have to eat in your Cheesecake Factory in Orland or wherever you're at, and we can make our own, and maybe sometimes we can have our own ma and pa. Maybe we need to think about that, developing our own stability here, our own businesses here. And sometimes we might not need them, and maybe they'll see that we can do without them. But I do believe somebody's here got a real estate license, somebody here can do this. Trustee Payton just talked about a company looking to bring here right now. I mean, these are things that we can do ourselves. And I think we can be very, very ingenious on this and create our own businesses and our own spots and serve us ourselves. So with that, I was a little heartbreaking to all of them. They were all kind of hurt. But they didn't look at the numbers, 670,000 people. You're flipping? Okay. But maybe we send a letter to those 670,000, and maybe the corporation might listen to us a little better. I'd like to announce effective May 22nd, 2015, Commander Darrell Strauss will assume the role of acting chief of the police department. The purpose of this appointment is to comply with state mandate related all police agencies being required to have a law enforcement person representing the agency on a daily basis who can make decisions related to the requirements set forth per the following: compliance with University Park Code ordinances, compliance and response to internal and external attorney issues, compliance with the state statutes, compliance with the Illinois law, training and standard board, compliance with the response to citizens' concerns or complaints, compliance responses to the union issues. This is a temporary appointment and will be renewed after 30 days upon the position is filled. And we will be, I'll tell you that later. The vision, as someone said, here in the Village of University Park, you might see some faces that you have not seen before, and you're going to see even more out in the village. We're going to be having a workshop. The village trustees will have a retreat, and later we will have a big board meeting, town hall meeting with your input. We expect you to we're going to be transparent as ever. We expect you to tell us what you want to do. 7 people up here should not make your destiny. We should get your input, and we should move forward from there. The change in University Park, the village has a deficit of approximately $3.7 million. In order to address this issue, the new administration is committed to change the way the village does business. I know this might not come as a surprise to you, but all of you know that some decisions may not be favorable to either, but believe me that there are betterments in this community. So what we plan to do is transparency and accountability. All the processes and procedures, budget cuts, staff assessments, and possible reorganizations, inventories of all village assessments, detailed review of all litigations and other legal cases against the village, internal partnerships, resource management procedures for all staff. This will be done in various stages. I'm going to share the details with the board, and then we'll jointly decide how to proceed. Staffing updates. There are 2 positions that will be advertised shortly: Chief of Police and Fire Chief. They will be posted. The budget phase action, phase 1 plan, action plan 1. Listed below is the phase of the budget adjustment for FY 15-16 that should be implemented to impact the budget within the 90-day period. First action plan, department, mayor, and trustee salary decreases of $22,000, 12% decrease. Currently budget is 113,000, budget change to 92,000. Department clerk salary decreased 3%, 20%. Current budget 15,000, change the budget to 12,000. Department finance department salaries and benefits decreased from 45,000 to 10. Freezes and replacements of staff accounting. Negotiations with general liability insurance currently $1,027,157. Plan reduction $500,000. Cost savings approximately $500,000, decreasing of 48%. Decrease in police department and administrative secretary of $44,289. Community relations total $9,400. Graphic design $2,000. Letter printing design $3,000. Dues $2,000. Traveling and conferences. Tuition reimbursement all departments $6,000. Phase 1 $603,548 of savings. FY14-15 general fund loss unaudited of $3,638,765. Loss due 2014 loss due to TIP 3, 4, and 5 revenue budget $2,555,131. Undetermined at this time. Further reconciliation is needed to account of the reimbursement or charge back to general funds operations. Video gaming budgeted revenue was $100,000 versus only $12,798.26. Shortfall of $87,201.74. Real estate tax budget shortfall of $185,622.72. Actually, 5,000. An actual $3,580,962.28 versus $3,766,585. Oversized overweight permit budget for shortfall of $99,975. Budget $1 million versus $25,000. $100,000 worth of $25,000. So $25,000. So to let you know, that's just the top of the iceberg we're going to start doing. This will be posted. Everybody's, you can look at it. It's going to be view for you. We'll work with that. Those are the first things we're going to start doing. We have an HR, so now that they are temporary appointed until we're going to post all these positions. But right now, we need someone to come in here right now and clean house and start making it happen. $3 million in the hole. We said we were in the black. Now we found out we're actually $3 million in the hole. So that's why the drastic change is going to happen, and you'll see that soon. We have, you see, Ms. Bola Delano. She's highly recommended. She's known throughout University Park. Every mayor knows her. Every developer knows her. Every contractor knows her. South Suburban Mayor Managers. She comes from the governor's office. She has a degree from Oxford University, and she was the deputy director of IDOT, DECO, CMAP. But we're really, really fortunate. I know the congresswoman was trying to get her, but thank God we were able to snatch her this time. She comes with the $20,000 cut in the salary that was already proposed. She's not asking for $135,000, it would be $107,000. That's a savings over $29,000 right there. It's award-winning, highly motivated, resulting-driven executive with the leadership and talent, project self-confidence, authority, enthusiasm, inspiring colleagues and perform excellence. Her accomplishments led award-winning strategic initiatives through successful collaboration with business and community leaders, led efforts in developing a major shopping and office complex, which one of the ones, she's the one who developed our industrial park, just to let you know, years ago with, what's it, Elmer Shaw, many years ago. Partnered with several local business organizations, developing 900 million housing projects in Africa. She's actually from London, managed, and that's how we're trying to get a sister station organization through her as well. Managed an award-winning renovation project, historical district, which resulted in conversion of an industrial building into a film studio, creating 10,000 jobs, 2,000 housing units, and 15,000 people newly trained in construction. And it goes on and on. Successfully managed $6 million water infrastructure project, directed, led, reduced municipal deficit from $1.5 million by 60%. Managed portfolio on public and private sector projects, created competitive workforce packages for businesses totaling $10 million. And as I said, it goes on, and this will be open for anyone that'd like to read it. Illinois Department of Transportation in Springfield, Deputy Director Planning and Programming, Chicago Metropolitan Agent for Planning, Deputy Director, Executive Director, and that's Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, Senior Accountant Manager. Chicago Southland Chamber of Commerce, Deputy Director of Development, Economic Development, Village of Fort Heights, Village Manager and Planner. Okay, this is in the United Kingdom. I can't go to Hurdsburg, Sire County Council Director of Regeneration. Okay, and her professional development current board position, Southland, Chicago Southland Construction Development Corporation Board Member, Community and Economic Development Association, Illinois Department of Council, Harold Washington College-led Advisory Committee, Economic Development, Achievement Women Excellence and Chain Operations, United Way of South Suburban Area, Award and Acknowledgement, Illinois Department of Transportation, Illinois Corporation Bike Planning, Human Capital Development, Sustainable Practices and Performances, Accountability to Transportation Systems, Key to the City, Fort Heights, Birmingham, Award for American Planning Associations, Implement Performance of Economic Development, Education in London, England, UK, Postgraduate Diploma, Project and Policy Management, and the University of West, where they're placed again, London, UK, and Urban Planning subjects. And we welcome you to University Park. Right now, there's a temp, we have a temp right now, that's Miss Maxine Jackson. And Maxine, would you like to speak on yours? I can't read anymore. And she brought Human Resource here and discovered quite a bit for us.
Hi, I'm Maxine Jackson. I've been, I worked with Bola Delano at Illinois Department of Transportation. I did human resources there. I have over 23 years of experience in human resources. I worked in the public and private sector. My resume is not as long as hers, but I am glad to be on board, and we're definitely looking into some things and finding some areas of where there needs to be some change and discovering some issues that we need to deal with for the village.
Okay, and I'd like Bola to say a few words. She's excited.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure and an honor to work in University Park, and I'm really looking forward to this. As the mayor said, we're 3.7 million in the red, and there are some decisions that we are going to have to make with your support to make sure that we get back in the black. It hurts me deeply that we are a university town and nobody knows that we're a university town. I have worked, as you have heard, in numerous positions, but my background has given me the support. So I encourage your young children to go and study urban planning studies, because it gives you an opportunity to be very broad and enhance in different skills. I just want to highlight a couple of things. We found out during my first week, which I met some of my very good residents, some liked me, some didn't, but that's okay, that there has been an abuse of public service. There has been abuse of your finances. There's a lot of inaccuracies in terms of your finances, and we need to address this. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but I do have a responsibility as being appointed by your board to make sure that business is not as usual and that we stay back. So we have had some issues. We've had some people offer their resignations. I'm not saying no, because I need to make a saving so that I can get a brownie point. But I think the other thing also is there are some systems in place that are so archaic that they are not facing the reality that's happening in the world today. And I know some of you might have relatives within this administration, meaning within the municipality, and they might come and moan. But I just want to leave one thought process with you. This is 2015. So the laws that were implemented in 1949 or 1967 or 2000 are not really relevant to the times of today. The second thing is that we need to encourage and we need your support. We're going to have a public meeting where we'll be expecting you to tell us what the issues are. I am not here to decide what you want, but I am here to make sure that what you want works. So I'm very happy to be here. There are a lot of, I have an open door policy, so feel free to come in and moan and criticize everybody, but also come and tell me what the issues are. We pay too much for our health plan. We pay too much for risk and insurance. We pay too much in litigation. Our litigation cases are just over the roof. The issue with that, for you to know as members of the public, is that we will continue to have to pay this money because we've already made cases, because we didn't have a system in place. So you will keep your eyes out on the website. We will be publishing a lot of information. We're going to be very transparent. And if you don't like it, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, we have Tim Williams here, and you can go on with yours.
Good. Good evening. Hello? All right, there we go. Good evening. As indicated, my name is Tim Williams. I was brought on as the Director of Government Affairs. My responsibilities are going to be to cultivate relationships with the stakeholders in the community and to also foster relationships with the federal and state legislators and to address policy issues and different legislation that is going to have bearing on University Park. The other duties as assigned that Ms. Bola included in my job description, it continues to grow on a daily basis. And so I get emails indicating that I'm to be working on this, that, and the other, so I understand the public forums will be handled out of my department and working with Mr. Walter Perkins as well to ensure that we're having effective forums for the community to be able to participate in this, this growth and change that is going to be occurring here in University Park. So, you know, issues such as we talked about the LG Legislative Distributive Fund that has been cut from the state and how that's going to have an impact on the village. So I've, in the past week, been researching grant opportunities to help fill some of those plugs as the dollars that we expected aren't going to be there for us. So we're being forced to be creative in finding new funds and new resources to continue to do what we need to do for the village. So I'm extremely happy to be here. I come with 10 years of government experience, local government experience, so this is old hat to a certain degree, but there's also a lot of new responsibilities that I'm happy and willing and capable of handling on your behalf. So once again, thank you.
Thank you. And we got this in all of our trustees, I think, received this from our legislator, Anthony DeLuca, thanking us and congratulating us for being elected. And the main thing he says here is the politicians to take a cut in pay. He says here that we need to free up some of our fundings, our health insurance. These are the things that he said that he's voting for: House Bill 398, House Bill 440, House Bill 350, 3500. These are to create certain crime and death policy funds and to cut the salaries which face our local and serious troubles, and also prohibiting individuals who have convicted corrupted related crimes from holding public office for in the free fund life insurance. These are the things that we're saying that we're going to address, and he's backing up. These are House bills that's being on the floor right now. So we're in compliance of the things that's happening, and we want to make you happy, and we want to give you what you said, change. And with that said, we will motion to adjourn and go into executive session. So moved by trustee Rueda, second by trustee Hilton Page.
Excuse me, Chair, I had an announcement.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Good evening, Mayor and the Board of Trustees. Just wanted the residents to know that day camp will be starting June 8th. If you have any children ages K through 8th grade, please call our office at 708-534-6456. Parent orientation will be on Saturday, June 6th at 12 noon at Regal Farm, which is located at 580 Farmview Road. And then last but not least, Hickok Aquatic Center will be opening on next Saturday, June 6th at 2 p.m. We look forward to having you residents as well as your family members come out and enjoy the swimming pool. And we're just praying for good weather. Thank you.
Another flash, we will be bringing back the committees. The residents have shared that they want the committees back. So we will be putting that back on the agenda to go for the committees so people can participate and be a part of Family Fling and the other committees. And even, we might even create some new ones. So we want this to be a happy family, and we're behind 4 years. We got to catch up. University Park has been on Channel 7 4 years ago. When we became a college town, we will be on there now. So thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Pray for us, keep us in your prayers. Pray for us, keep us in your prayers. I can't say that enough. And I love you. You can't do anything about it. Thank you. Motion. Roll call.
Votes aye.
Votes aye.
Aye.
Votes aye.
Aye. Thank you. The purpose of the executive session. That's our courtesy thing.
Executive session, purpose litigation, pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of public body and personnel, appointment, compensation, discipline, dismissal of an employee, or review of closed session minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.